Are the San Francisco 49ers in 2025 appropriately hyped? I saw a video on this with Deet and Hutch. I didn't watch the video. I just saw that, and I kind of thought to myself, are they? Are they? And you know what? After thinking about it and I pondered on it, I would have to say 100% they are. I think they're appropriately hyped where they're at. Let's break it down. The team itself, yeah, they lost some players. Yeah, there's some question marks on this team itself. You got rookies everywhere. You got, some needs here and there, but for the most part, it's all been addressed based on the draft. You have addressed on DN with Mikael Williams, the D-tackle situation with Alfred Collins and CJ West. You got Mark McKee-Sigel, right? You picked up a few players in free agency to fill in that free safety spot. Richie Grant apparently has looked really good in OTAs right now. Linebacker situations look pretty good with D. Winters, and I've heard Nick Martin is just balling out. Corner situation is the only thing that's kind of had a question mark right now, but there's been some players on the rise outside of Renardo Green and Diomar Dolanor. On the offensive side of the ball, you got, the offensive lines looked a little tackle-wise, though, Burford and Pleasance has looked good. So guard and center is probably the biggest question mark right now when it comes to depth and who's starting. Then wide receiver position, you got Ayuk. Ignore the drama part, but he's injured and stuff. But Demarcus Robinson has looked like an absolute stud. Pearsall got injured, but before that, he was looking really good. Jordan Watkins has looked good. Brock Purdy, we already know, is amazing. Top 10 quarterback. Yes, CMC coming back, looking like his old self, what people have to say. And for whatever you think of Kyle Shanahan, he's maybe not be the best coach, in the league right now. He's still a good one. He's still a good offensive coordinator. So you still have a good offensive mind managing the offense, right? Then on defense, you get the best defensive coordinator possible in the offseason, probably the best defensive coordinator in the league, or top three, definitely in that argument, right? Then you get the most respected Brant Boyer special teams coach out there. So you have a lot of good things happening. And the nucleus of players that you have is insane. Like I said, I mentioned Brock Purdy, but you also got Trent Williams. You have George Kittle. You have Nick Bosa. You have Fred Warner. You still have those leaders, those people that you absolutely need around your team to boost everyone's ability mentally and physically to actually, hold those players like the rookies and players that come in accountable, saying, hey, this is the culture. They still have those players that, gone to the Super Bowl or been to playoffs after playoffs, they have those players still. So they still have those people to keep up that culture. So this team may not, be as great as like the 2023 season type players. May not. They could be that guy. Like they could be that, not that guy, but that team. That's definitely without a doubt possible that they could be that team. But you still have these nucleus of players that are holding up a standard, and you have good things surrounding these newcomers, such as the rookies and the players that come in, where they can hold them up physically and mentally and be like, hey, you need to perform. You have that. You brought in Bryce Huff, who, under Robert Saleh was amazing, right? And he looks amazing at OTAs. Like he looks super fast on his get off. It's actually crazy. But the team itself has potential, right? And it has the legs to hold itself up to be a good team. Now, I just said that it's not going to be like the 2023 team where you expect them to be dominant, go be a Super Bowl contender or anything like that. No, they're not a Super Bowl contender. And that's not their hype. Their hype is not a Super Bowl contender, right? That's not what people are talking about. That's not what people are seeing right now. It's not what I'm seeing right now. Is there potential of that? For sure. You got the coaches. You got the nucleus of players. You can do that. But that's not the expectation. That is not the hype of this team. The hype of this team is a 10-win team. That is without a doubt doable. That is without a doubt realistic in my eyes. And you're like, oh, well, how can you be this a great team and you have these 10 wins, not be a great team and have these 10 wins? This team is going to, not only do they have question marks on this team, but they're going up against an easy schedule, against easy defenses, right? Like they have a lot going for themselves in this schedule. It is super bad compared to last year where everything was against them, rest, the teams they were facing, the injuries, all that. Just you can go down the list. in this season, if they do not get the injuries they have, it's all beneficial to them. Everything helps them in this situation. They have no players coming off, no team coming off the bye. They have a lot going for themselves up in this upcoming season. And if you have the players, the nucleus of players, you address the needs in the draft and off season, one or two, like offensive line, for example, maybe didn't address what you needed to, but they've been to the playoffs and been to the Super Bowl with a weak offensive line before. They could definitely win 10 games with that kind of offensive line again. And you have the coaches, without a doubt. You have Robert Saleh, Kyle Shanahan, whatever you may think of him, and you got Brant Boyer, who's revamping this entire special teams. And it's looking for the better, to be honest with you. So everything's looking up for this team. Everyone is super happy for this team. And the hype of this team also implies that the drama aspect of it all. Yeah, the Ayuk thing. I don't buy into the whole Ayuk thing where it's that dramatic where you should freak out about it and he should go, he should get traded. That's just me though. But even with that standing, I still think that for the most part, compared to other off seasons, hype wise, everything's going great. Like I have not heard anything bad about players in OTAs whatsoever. Everything has been just good mood, good vibes. The players are happy. The coaches are happy. The schedule is favorable to the team itself. So there is nothing that should say, okay, you need to pump the brakes or like, hey, you are taking this way too far. Hey, none of us are saying it's our year. It's nothing crazy like that, but you can still feel good about the team itself and its future. Like I feel good about the future of this team. Where it's like, okay, even if we don't make the Super Bowl this year, or if we just make it to the wild card round, I'll be satisfied and I'll be like, okay, I accept that. 10 wins, easy schedule, play harder teams in the playoffs. If this team can just build off what they've been doing and just find a couple of gems in the draft and free agency, and then in 2026 really take off from there, if the players work out that they got in the draft, like Mikael Williams, Alfred Collins, CJ West, Nick Martin, all of that. They will have less needs and better players through experience. So I would not say overall, what I'm trying to say is I do not think this team is overhyped. I don't think they're underhyped either. Like I think people and fans, even haters, are looking at like, hey, this team is looking better, right? They're accepting the fact that, hey, this team does look better and they actually did some good things. And, there's going to be some haters out there. Obviously, they're just going to be like, oh, you lost too many people and things of that nature. It's like, no, what the 49ers did is they got rid of cancerous players. They got rid of players that were not – what I mean cancerous is like they weren't helping the team itself. They didn't fit the scheme, or they were injury prone. Things of that nature, right, is what I meant by that. And this team is doing all the right things. And I've said this a million times. I don't think the front office, the coaching staff – has been on this kind of common ground with the fans as long as I've been a fan of this team. Like they're doing all the right things. They're making the most daring moves. They're doing the things they have to. They're doing risky things that I think this team should be doing. Like there are a couple things, I'm a little questionable about like letting go Greenlaw, even though he was injury prone. But that was something they wanted to bring back. So I'm going to take the good here and be like, wow, they are doing a lot of good, and a lot of fans are happy about that. And I think they should be happy about that. I think it's appropriate to be excited about this offseason, about the vibes and everything else. But no one is screaming. It would be overhyped if everyone's screaming, oh, we got Mikael Williams and Bryce Huff, and then we got these great defensive players and Robert Saleh, and we're Super Bowl, then yeah, that would be overhyped, talking about how like we're the greatest team ever. This is gonna be the greatest team ever, and things like that. I think that's the step where you would say overhyped, but to feel good about the offseason, to feel good about the team going into 2025 and the potential future of 2026, 2027, and the schedule that's coming up. I think the fans feeling good about themselves and about the things that are happening. It's like finally the 49ers are catching a break. They just need to capitalize on it. I think that's appropriate hype. I don't think people should be down and say, hey, we're not a playoff team. This is trash. I'd say it's under hype. I'd say that's just, hater juice, or just people like to be negative. That's where I put it. I think the hype is exactly where it should be. Because if you sign Brock Purdy, for example, and you couldn't re-sign Fred Warner into an extension or George Kittle or something like that, then that'll cause some problems, some friction, and then issues. No, you sign Brock Purdy, you re-sign Fred, extended Fred, and then you re-sign. Sorry, I keep messing this up. You reconstruct those deals with Fred and Kittle, give them extensions. You were still able to pay everybody that you wanted to pay. You got rid of all the players that they should have got rid of, and you still have the second most cap in the league. So they did all the things that they wanted to do, regardless of the Brock Purdy contract situation. So this it's appropriately hyped. It's not like the Brock Purdy thing strapped them for cash, ruined them, and the restructures ruined them or whatever. No, they look great. Like the future of the 49ers cap situation looks really good for what it is, right? And the team is doing nothing but good things. And it's just been like one or two bad things here and there. Like I said, the offensive line, but the 49ers have done well with weak offensive line before. Brock Purdy has. And then if you really want to find something, the Brandon Ayuk drama thing, which I don't think is that bad, because it's not like he's coming out and saying – it's a whole thing. I think it could be a lot worse, and I think it's enough to just put it down and be like, whatever, dude. I don't care. There's so much good. There's so much things worthy being hyped for, and people, being excited for this season in general, like just the vibes itself. Because if you're a real 49ers fan, you know exactly what 2024's offseason was like. Jesus Christ. Even 2023, 2022, all the seasons, nothing is compared to this season. I think every single fan of the 49ers should be happy. I think every 49ers deserves to be happy. I think they should have every right to be hyped for this upcoming season, considering how everything's going. As long as they're not saying it's our year, as long as they're not saying that, hey, this year we're Super Bowl contenders, hey, we can make the playoffs, heck, maybe even win one playoff game or something like that, I would say that's appropriately hyped to me. I would say that is fair, if you were to ask me. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think this team is just, overexcited, too happy about what's happening here? There are some things that are just way too big to ignore. Is the Ayuk thing way too big of a deal to just let this good stuff happen? Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you guys think the 49ers are overhyped, considering schedule, what the team is, what the coaches are, and what they've done this offseason altogether? Do you think they're fairly hyped? Do you think they're overhyped? Or do you think they're underhyped? Let me know in the comments. I definitely would love to hear it. And be sure to hit that like button, because like I always say, this channel is nothing without you guys. And I couldn't be more grateful. And I can't wait to see the future of this channel. And I can't wait for more of you to join this family and be a howler, be part of this wolf pack. I would truly be happy for you guys to join this. And even if you disagree with me, please hit that like button, because it supports me either way. And thank you guys so much. And every single like makes my 49ers heart grow from here to here. All of fam, I'll see you next video. Bang, bang, not a gang.